Have you ever felt like someone was smiling at you but something felt off? Like the warmth didn't quite reach their eyes? Or they said, "I am fine," with a tone that said the exact opposite? Anger can be hidden, but it almost always leaves tracks. So how do you tell if someone is genuinely calm or just really good at covering up rage? That is the question. Because recognizing hidden anger can save your relationships, prevent massive explosions, and help you respond with empathy instead of just feeling confused. Let's look at 7 signs that reveal what is really going on beneath the surface. Hidden anger is actually much more common than the explosive kind. Most of us were raised to believe that being angry is bad or that showing it makes us look out of control. So instead of dealing with it, we push it down. We swallow it. But anger is energy, and energy has to go somewhere. When someone hides their anger, it usually comes from a place of fear or a need for control. Maybe they are afraid that if they tell you why they are mad, you will leave. Or maybe they were conditioned to believe that keeping the peace is more important than being honest. When you see these signs, you are not just seeing a difficult person. You are seeing someone who does not feel safe enough to be direct. Number 1 is sarcasm and passive-aggressive comments. This is anger with a mask on. You have probably experienced this when you ask someone a simple question and they give you a response that feels like a tiny sting. Maybe you ask if they can help with dinner and they say, "Oh, sure, because I clearly have nothing else to do with my life." When you call them out on it, they usually retreat into the classic defense, "I was just kidding. You are too sensitive." But sarcasm like this is rarely just a joke. It is a way to deliver a blow without having to take responsibility for the fight. It is a way to say, "I am mad at you," without actually having to say the words. If you find yourself constantly feeling insulted under the guise of humor, you are likely dealing with someone's suppressed resentment. Number 2 is withdrawal or the silent treatment. This is one of the most painful ways people hide their anger because it uses absence as a weapon. It is the heavy silence that fills the car on the way home or the one-word text messages that feel like a brick wall. When someone pulls away like this, they are trying to communicate their hurt by making you feel their distance. It is a way of saying, "I am going to make you miss me until you figure out what you did wrong." It creates a dynamic where you end up chasing them, trying to bridge the gap while they stay safely behind their wall of silence. If you feel like you are suddenly talking to a ghost who is standing right in front of you, that silence is likely fueled by a fire they are not ready to talk about yet. Number 3 is an overly polite demeanor that feels forced. Psychologists sometimes call this reaction formation. It is when someone feels an intense emotion like anger, but they overcompensate by acting the opposite way. You can feel the stiffness in their movements. They are being incredibly helpful, saying "sir" or "ma'am," or using formal language that feels totally out of place for your relationship. It feels like they are wearing a costume of a perfect person. This happens because they are trying so hard to keep their anger contained that they have to grip their personality with both hands. If the politeness feels like it could snap at any second, it probably will. They are not being nice because they feel good. They are being nice because they are terrified of what will happen if they stop. Number 4 is task avoidance or procrastination as a form of resistance. This is a very subtle sign. It looks like laziness or being forgetful, but it is actually a way of saying no without opening their mouth. Imagine you asked your partner to fix a leaky faucet 3 weeks ago. They keep saying they will do it, but they never do. Or they agree to go to a party with you, but then they are suddenly exhausted or have a headache right when it is time to leave. This is passive resistance. By not doing the thing you asked, they are exerting power over the situation. They are frustrated with you, so they forget the things that are important to you as a way to even the score. It is a way to be difficult without being confrontational. Number 5 is subtle body tension. The mind can lie, but the body usually tells the truth. When someone is hiding anger, you will often see it in their jaw. Look for the tiny muscle that pulses right below the ear, or look at their hands. They might be resting them on their lap, but their knuckles are turning white from gripping their own fingers. Their shoulders might be hunched up toward their ears as if they are bracing for an impact. Even their breathing changes. It becomes shallow and chest-based rather than deep and relaxed. If someone is telling you they are completely fine, but they look like they are holding back a physical weight, trust what you see over what you hear. That tension is the physical manifestation of all the words they are refusing to say. Number 6 is the phrase, "I am fine," repeated with a sharp tone. We have all heard this one. It is not just the words, it is the clipping of the sounds. The fine is short, sharp, and final. It is a conversation stopper. When someone says this, they are basically hanging up the phone in the middle of a live conversation. They are sending a clear signal. "I am angry, but I am not going to give you the satisfaction of talking about it." It is a defensive perimeter. By saying they are fine, they are technically not lying in their own head. They are just saying they are fine in the sense that they are functioning. But the tone tells you they are simmering. If the word fine feels like a slap, it is because it was meant to be one. Number 7 is displacement. This is when someone is angry with you, but they take it out on something or someone else because it feels safer. You might notice they are suddenly incredibly frustrated with the traffic, or they snap at the waiter, or they get disproportionately upset because the dog barked. If you find yourself thinking, why are they so mad about such a small thing? The answer is usually that they aren't mad about that thing at all. They are mad about something you did or said earlier, but they don't know how to bring it up. So they wait for a tiny inconvenience to happen and then dump all that stored up energy onto it. It is a release valve for the pressure they have been building up all day. So what do you do when you recognize these signs? The most important thing is to create a safe space for the anger to exist. Most people hide their anger because they think it will destroy the relationship if it comes out. You can change that by not getting defensive. Instead of saying, "Why are you being so passive-aggressive?" Try saying, "I feel like there is some tension between us, and I want you to know it is okay to be upset with me." You are giving them permission to be human. You are showing them that the relationship is strong enough to handle their honesty. Sometimes, people just need to know that their feelings won't result in a disaster. Understanding hidden anger isn't about becoming a mind reader or a detective. It is about learning to read the language of the unspoken. When you start to see these tracks, you can stop reacting to the mask and start responding to the person underneath. It takes the guesswork out of your interactions and replaces confusion with a deeper kind of connection. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to be understood, even when we are doing our best to hide.